technically is kissing someone under the mistletoe sexual assault? I mean, can you bring charges against James Franco if there's mistletoe and he reaches out and sucks on one of your titties? Is that sexual exploitation? I love how we've now widened the category of sexual misconduct. That's a new thing too. Sexual misconduct. It used to be there was laws. You know what I mean? It's like now, like I could, even if you take women out of it, like if I get into an argument with one of my friends, I could call the cops and say, this guy makes more money than me. The dynamic of our physical altercation made me feel uncomfortable. No, sir. I'm sorry, sir. You're right. It wasn't even a physical altercation. We had a conversation and the dynamic made me uncomfortable because he makes more money than me and he's in a superior position socioeconomically, and I felt belittled and manipulated, and I would like to file a fratricidal exploitation charge. I would like to talk to a reporter at The Atlantic so we can talk about his fratricidal misconduct charge. I have a platonic misconduct charge that we are going to have written about in a paper. I mean, there's so many new categories of crimes that aren't crimes, but are now like media crimes. Like reporters will report. James Franco has been accused and sued for, if I got this correct, and we've created a new one here, sexual exploitation. So you're probably hearing that and you're probably thinking, okay, was James Franco engaged in moving underage child prostitutes across state lines? And I'm going to say no. Was he accused of running a prostitution ring? I'm going to say no. Was James Franco accused of holding women down, promising them roles, and sexually taking advantage of them? I'm going to say no. James Franco has been accused of getting fucked by women who want to fuck James Franco. That's what James Franco's accused of. James Franco is accused of being James Franco. Okay? One of the things that comes with being James Franco, I would say it's probably the most prominent thing that comes with being James Franco. The thing that's not prominent that comes with being James Franco is good acting. That does not come with James Franco. What comes with James Franco is a good fucking time that might and probably will involve his penis. His penis will be involved in any hanging out with James Franco. I even think if I went to dinner with James Franco and let's say his friend Seth Rogen, who I'm sure they've parted ways because Seth Rogen probably is not dealing with how much James Franco has exploited the power dynamics of being an acting teacher and fucking a few of the desperate girls who want to break through in Hollywood who also want to tell their girlfriends a story that they fucked James Franco. You crazy? If my wife told me, do you want this gift? I'm getting you a new fucking iPhone watch band or you get to fuck James Franco. I'm fucking James Franco and I don't even want to fuck James Franco. I don't even want to fuck a guy. Nor James Franco, but as a Christmas gift, I will fuck James Franco. Seth Rogen's probably like, we can't hang out anymore, dog. You're exploiting your power dynamic, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. You're, my ashtray business. My ashtray business is going too good right now, and I can't afford to have any negative entanglements. I can't be attached to any sexual exploiters. You know what would be a story about James Franco? This would be a story that I want the press to write about. James Franco does not have sex with women. That's a story that I would. James Franco teaches an acting class with actors, damaged people who want to pretend that they're someone else as a career and are willing to do whatever to get on an episode of CSI. and who are very superficial go and attend James Franco's class, and James Franco does not give them what they want, which is for him to fuck them. So James Franco, he's being sued by 2 former students. And I use the term students loosely because when you're in an acting class, it's the opposite of school. Calling someone an acting teacher is like calling a fish a bird. It's like the opposite. There's nothing to teach. Anything that Ice-T could pick up in 13 minutes is not something I really think deserves to be taught at a school. There's no school. If James Franco was a astronomy teacher and he was banging some of the students, yeah, I would say there's a power dynamic. But if they throw together some fucking class where people come and they read commercial monologues, they say, okay, we're going to teach you how to do on-camera acting for a Tums commercial. That's not really a power dynamic. That's James Franco. That's James Franco looking for girls to fuck and for girls who want to maybe fuck James Franco to be in the next movie with the director. What's his name? With the beard. Who's also very upset with James Franco. The guy, the guy with all the movies with Will Ferrell. I'm just dropping his name. He thinks he's a stand-up. What's his name? He's never going to put me in a movie anyway. Apatow. Girls who want to maybe know how they can maybe get in the next Apatow. And James Franco, I'm going to say you're guilty of one thing. What you're guilty of is being myopic. And if you don't know what that word is, get smarter. It's short-sighted, okay? If you're going to fuck a girl who's taking James Franco's acting class, okay, they're expecting that if they fuck you, you're going to at least get them a background role where you just tell them cheat out to the camera as much as you can. Okay? You got to at least be expected to give a role out here or there, or you're going to get sued. And here's another tip of advice. If you fuck any actress who has not made it in Hollywood, if you fuck anyone in entertainment, anyone with a headshot, okay, and your career is bigger than hers, expect a civil lawsuit. Okay, these are not the most stable people in the world who say, I'm leaving Idaho to go to LA to try to make it. Especially now where there is no Hollywood. So James Franco's being sued. Of course it's sued. You want to know why it's sued, Jesse Scaturo? Because there's no criminal charges. You can't press criminal charges against someone who had consensual sex with 2 of his students. So if there's no criminal charges, why the fuck are we even reporting on this? Why do I even fucking know that James Franco had sex with 2 girls in his stupid fucking acting class that he can so he can feel like he's doing something in between getting his dick sucked, doing drugs, and waiting for his next fucking Judd Apatow movie. These actors do nothing but sit around all fucking day in LA, and they go to Simon Rex's house, and they jerk off, and they do drugs. That's it. They're not comedians. They don't have to fucking work for a living. I gotta fucking think of funny things to say every fucking week and convince you to join my fucking Patreon because you're pieces of shit who think that I'm gonna fucking rely on Manscaped for the rest of my fucking life. They're about to demonetize me because I got a lot to say about China this episode. We're not done. I removed the I Love Allah mug because I'm trying to figure out what is fucking demonetizing us. What's James Franco supposed to do except fuck girls in his free time? There's only so many minutes in the day you can spend at the gym. There's only so many minutes in the day you can spend at Simon Rex's house. There's only so many minutes in the day you can FaceTime with Seth Rogen while he shows you his dumb fucking ashtrays. They stink. You have no talent for sculpting. That baby Socrates that Jesse made, that's fucking talent. Seth Rogen, you're making the same ashtray over and over again like a mental institution patient at a mental ward. How many ashtrays are you going to make, my friend? If that is not an indication of how much leisure and downtime these actors have and how little work they actually do, it's that Seth Rogen decided to make the same ashtray over and over again. And Jim Carrey decided all of a sudden that he's Justin Pollock. You're painting suck. I'm sorry you sucked Satan's pecker to become the fucking mask, but that's not all our problem. Now we got to sit through your fucking pseudo-spiritual lectures on the red carpet because you're upset that you sold your soul to make $50 million as a Canadian fucking sociopath. And now we got to sit through. He thinks he's the Buddha now. Every time Jim Carrey gives an interview, he's like, guys, we're not here. Nothing's here. Nothing's real. We're just atoms in a... Shut the fuck up. Throw on the Grinch costume and make my daughter happy. You got $40 million in the bank. I've had enough of you.
I like when he talked with his ass.
Yeah, go back to talking with your ass. Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't got to sit through your pseudo spirit. Oh, you found God. Let me say, you conveniently found spirituality after you hit about 300 mil in the bank. That's convenient. That's like when someone kills someone and then they read a remorse letter to the family in the court. It's like, of course you're sorry now because you're going to jail for prison. You're going to get your asshole pushed in.